I crashed my drone. Welcome back to F Up Friday.
We f***ed up.
Today we're going to be talking about how I crashed a drone whilst taking it off from a moving sail yacht, and why I will be doing it again. The risky yacht flying, that is, of course, not the drone crashing. So there we were, chilling in Croatia on a yacht, spotting those dolphins, filming with the original GoPro 1, you know, all the good stuff that you've already seen. And we wanted a nice establishing shot for our cinematic vlog of the sailing yacht. So we needed to launch the drone from said boat. We have done this before many times and successfully, but this time we tried a slightly different approach and it didn't quite pan out. So basically I've seen a lot of pretty nasty horror stories of people chopping off their fingers, getting fairly seriously hurt whilst hand landing or hand taking off their drones.
The adrenaline's worn off a little bit.
We used to do a little bit of teamwork with Sal, and I would fly the drone and she would catch it, but it's safe to say that some of these photos and videos put me off from doing that. So we decided that the best thing to do would be to take off the drone from like the biggest kind of flat space on the yacht and just straight away in sports mode zoom it out. It didn't go to plan.
Maybe not. Maybe we are going too quick than usual. When we've done it before, we've held it basically out over the thing, so basically it's shot back.
Yeah, we've got a damaged prop at this point, so we can't go anyway, but that looks sick. Damaged prop? Yeah, we've got some prop damage. We're aborting it. We caught it, but we're aborting it. So we were going too quick and it was too windy. I couldn't respond quickly enough, and as soon as the drone took off, it hit the mast. Luckily stayed inside the cockpit of the boat and didn't go swimming. However, there was some damage and unfortunately the props took the brunt of the force. We've got two props that are done in, but the drone is safe and dry.
Where's the other prop?
There's the other drone. It's not so severe. They're actually quite old. These are like the original props, so it's probably time to change them anyway. Probably should get a full set actually. Now the problem was we didn't have any spare propellers with us, and this was a huge mistake. This meant literally the end of the trip for the Mavic 2 Pro, and if it wasn't for the mighty Mavic Mini, which we luckily had on board and managed to get some really nice shots with, we would have been completely toast. That was maybe a little bit dramatic, but as I'm sure you're aware, it is always nice to have some tasty drone shots. The Mavic Mini performed super well, so you know we're really happy with what we've got. That's the drone that we tested out in this previous video, by the way, link in description as well. But it wasn't quite the quality and range and general capabilities of the Mavic 2 Pro. So we were saved, but would have been nice to have some spare props. So takeaway number one is always carry spare propellers, because if you have a minor drone mishap, they are the first thing that will become damaged, and as long as you can replace them, you're likely to be able to continue flying. Takeaway number two, and maybe actually this should have been takeaway number one, is wind plus moving vehicles plus drones don't really mix well. If you can avoid it, it's much better to take off and land on solid ground where you've got plenty of space and avoid any of these fairly sketchy flight conditions. It's not entirely honest for me to advise you not to take off from moving boats, because I will probably be doing that next month or something. So sometimes you need to risk it for those killer shots, and that's completely understandable. So the new takeaway number two is just to think twice or three times before you even touch the drone, and before you start taking off, think about that scenario, play everything through in your head. Make sure you're prepared for all eventualities. Yeah, best of luck with your risky shots. I kind of knew that as soon as I took off, obviously the speed of the boat would mean that the mast would kind of catch up with the hovering drone, but I thought that in sports mode I could avoid it. That was probably a little bit optimistic.
Obviously.
So to summarize, number one, keep spare propellers with you at all times. They're the one thing that will go the easiest and will prevent you from continuing to fly. And number two, just make sure you really think carefully before taking off your drone in any sort of risky or sketchy situations. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you in the next Friday. We've got plenty more where this came from.
It's not the shaman thing to be proud of.
See you in the next one.